Hello friends, it's Kristie Marcotte. I am sharing some cards today using Queen & Company's brand new Fun Foil and their Fun Foam. So here are their beautiful foils, and just a lovely rainbow, and I have never used foils before, and these are so easy to use. And then I did share some of this new foam in a previous video, but I didn't have the full packages yet. So let me show you real quick what's included. So there are two different varieties. There is the rainbow glitter, and this one has 6 sheets, and these are all self-adhesive, and for the most part they're a no-shed glitter, which is really nice. And then there's a neutrals pack. 3 of them don't have any glitter, just nice neutral colors, and then the other 3 do have some glitter. And again, these are all self-adhesive. And what's really nice is you can use this foam with all of your steel dies, and it cuts out all of the detail. So if it has some of this faux stitching detail, you'll be able to see that with the foam. I will be using a variety of different Queen & Company paper pads for my 5 cards, along with assorted bling, and then I'm also going to try to show different ways that you can use the new foil as well as this foam. For card number 1, I'm using the Magical Characters paper collection. And then I'm also using some of their new foundation die sets. So there are 2 different sets, and I do mix and match most of them because I love them both so much. They're just so useful and versatile for making cards. I used a variety of different pattern paper designs for this card, and even though some of them are on the busier side, since there's only little parts of them showing, it's not going to look overwhelmingly busy on the card. So then I went ahead and cut out the little wizard hat using the black glitter foam. And for behind the hat, I'm just putting a piece of solid yellow cardstock just so the stars will show through. Instead of having that red polka dot paper in the background, I wanted it to be the yellow instead. And then for the little brim on the hat, I didn't want it kind of sagging down, so I'm just using some extra thin dimensional adhesive. And then I didn't realize at first that I put it on top of the backing on this foam, so I had to remove those and then cut another layer. So just a reminder again, this foam is self-adhesive, so it makes it so quick and easy to use. So now I'm going to go ahead and add a sentiment, and the little die, this little stitched banner die, is from one of the foundation sets, and the sentiment I used is "You sure are swell." And the little hat is actually from the Magical Characters kit as well as this stamp set, and it does come with the little mouse ears to go with the hat, but I decided just to use the wizard hat instead. But you could definitely add those little ears if you prefer more of a Disney feel. So now I'm going to go ahead and use these stickums. So these are sort of like a shaped glue dot in a way, but they work just beautifully with this new foil. So the foil does not require any heat or any laminating machines. All you need to do is press it to some adhesive. So with these pre-shaped pieces, which are basically adhesive, all you do is take them and stick them right on the foil. Now I did find, so these little stickums have a clear covering and then also the white backing. So I find that it's easier if you remove the clear backing and then press the stickum onto the foil. And then just give it a nice good rub on kind of the back side. You can flip it over and rub on the foil side. Just make sure to get it along all of the edges. And then when you peel this up off of the foil, it's all stuck right on there, and now you have this beautiful foil sticker. So it's super easy to use. You just peel it off of that white backer just like any other sticker. So I'm just gonna put my assortment of different stars kind of as embellishments now around my card. And then I decided that upper right hand corner just needed a little something, so I cut out just these two small banners using one of the little foundation dies. Just cut them to two different lengths and layering them in that upper right hand corner. And then last, I'm just going to add some embellishments. And these are all self-adhesive, but I do have a tendency to add more liquid adhesive just because I want to make sure they're really going to stay put. Especially because I wasn't sure how well they hold on top of the foil. So I have a couple of different ones. I'm using some of the iridescent bubbles as well as the petite posies. So that is card number 1. And since my overhead lights reflect so much of all this foil and even like this pearlescent paper, my still photos are the true color of what the card really looks like. So now moving on to card number 2. This time I'm going to use a card sketch, and this is Sweet Sunday sketch number 298. I really liked the diagonal stripes on this card sketch, and I realized I could use the foil instead of pattern paper. So instead of using the stickums this time, I'm actually using some 1/2-inch score tape. So I just cut some long strips and then put them right down onto some silver foil. So sorry about this horrible reflection. It's really hard to avoid with my overhead lights. One of these days I'm going to have to figure out something different since I use so many shiny and reflective products now. So once I get the backing off of that first piece, I can figure out placement, and I'm just going to tuck the ends of that score tape right around that card front. That way it's all tucked in there and you won't have any of the edges showing. And then it is hard to see, I know, because it looks basically like nothing right there. But I'm just laying them really close to each other. It's about 1/8 of an inch between each of the diagonal strips. And this is all with the silver foil. So because I am using score tape, once it is down, it's not moving. So always make sure of your positioning before you actually place it. So I'm just going to add this small piece of pattern paper, and this is from the Delightful Dots paper collection. I decided to go for a green card this time. And then the background paper is just some white pearlescent paper from my craft room. So I'm going to use another sheet of the stickums. This sheet has butterflies and flowers all over it. There is a huge variety of different themes and designs of all of the stickums. And they really do make this foil so easy to use. So again, it's easier if you pull off the clear, I guess it'd be more of the front sheet, and then leave the white backing, just because it's easier to get them off later. I just find that that clear sheet sticks just a little bit more. And then once I have those all pressed down, I'm just going to rub my finger all along the edges just to make sure to get a good even foil on there, as you could say. I think it's fun to see that foil sheet with that shape in the middle from where all of the foil came off onto your new sticker. So I'm just going to place my 3 little flowers in that lower left hand corner, very similar to how it is on the sketch. And the larger flower had the little centerpiece, so I decided to use some of the yellow foil and then add that right into the middle of it. So for the sentiment, I'm going to use some of the glitter foam. So I have the words "thank you," and these are with the sentiment stackers. So it has the nice word outline and then also the words. So it already has this perfect matting with the 2 different dies that are included in the sets. And there are 2 different sets that are available, and they both have just a great variety of sentiments along with a small stamp set that coordinates as well. And with all of the foam being self-adhesive, it was really easy to just put those all together. And then I didn't want them getting lost on this polka dot paper, so I went ahead and just used some solid green cardstock, cut out one of the scallop circles. This is again using one of the foundation die sets. And then the You're the Best sentiment is from one of the stamp sets that's included in the sentiment stackers. So they just go together perfectly. I mean, you can use the thank you alone, but it's always fun to combine it with a little bit more. So I just cut out another one of the little stitch banners to add my sentiment. I absolutely love these little stitch banners. They're definitely one of my favorite parts from the foundation dies. I think it's going to be the thing that I use the most because you can put your sentiments on there, and it also works perfectly for the little banners that I like to add in the upper corners of my card. And there's even a wider one if you want a little wider banner for the little corner. So I'm just going to finish off the card with some bling, just using some embellishment in the center of the other two flowers, and then also used one of these larger bullseye bling right next to the sentiment. I love the extra sparkle on these. Then I decided I just need a little bit more, so I'm using some of the little petite posies in the bottom right hand corner of the card. So again, I did use some liquid adhesive just to make sure that they're going to stay put, but you definitely don't have to. They are all self-adhesive. So that is card number 2. So now moving on to card number 3. The background paper is just again some more of this white pearlescent paper, and I went ahead and embossed it using just a really small polka dot embossing folder. Then I used the foundation dies and cut out this large stitch banner using some of the polka dot paper. This is from the Flirty Florals collection. And then I used this purple glitter foam just for this diagonal strip to go behind the card. And the die for that is also from one of the foundation die sets. And then I pulled out some of this purple twine. This is the new Trio Trims. Comes in a variety of different colors, and it has 3 different trims on each of the packages. So I just wrapped it around 3 times around the card, and I'm just holding that in place with a little piece of score tape. And I did just trim off the little edge of that foam that was kind of sticking over the edge of my card. Now I'll go ahead and add my adhesive to the back of my card front, put that onto a card base before I continue on building my card. And I will tie a little bow a little bit later using that little piece of twine, but first I want to get this banner piece adhered in place. So since the foam definitely has some dimension to it, I want my banner to be even on the card. So I'm just using some foam adhesive and putting it around the top and bottom, and then I also made sure to go around the little piece of twine, just so I don't have any extra little bumps at all. It's nice and even on my card. And then just to make sure it's not kind of popping up a little bit, I just use some liquid adhesive right where the foam will be. I'm going to go ahead and tie my bow. Nothing fancy, just a little bow. I'm not the best at tying bows, but I seem to get away with it when I'm using twine. So now I went ahead and cut out this little princess wand. This is from the Princess Shaped Shaker Kit. And I used some of these Gloober sheets, so it's basically a 6x6 sheet of a Gloober, which is like a glue dot. Used the little princess wand, and I just want the inside star. So I pressed all of that onto some of this purple foil. Kind of is a pinkish purple color, really pretty. And then when I decide where I want to place it on my card, I'm going to go ahead and just pull that white backing off of the star, get that part in place, and then I'll use some liquid adhesive to put the rest of the wand down. So this kit is one that is sold as a shaker kit, but you can easily use the dies without it being a shaker, which is a lot of fun. So for the sentiment, I cut out another one of the little stitch banners. As you can see, I like these little stitch banners a lot. And the sentiment I'm using is "Have a Magical Birthday." And I'm just going to put that diagonal along with that stripe on the back of the card. I just thought it would be a little more interesting to just stick with that same diagonal angle. So I just adhered that with a little bit of foam dimension. And now I'm going to add a variety of different bling. So Queen & Company recently released just a huge variety of new bling, and it is so pretty. There's stars and hearts and just there's a ton. You should definitely go check it out on the website. So I'm using some of the stars, some of the iridescent goosebumps, and then again the petite posies. So that is card number 3. So now on to card number 4. The pattern paper is from the Delightful Dots again. So this is just the pink. It's a fun paper collection because it has a rainbow of different colors. So you can use it for any different card theme. And I'm just matting that with some solid cardstock. And that is all just stuff I have in my craft room. And then I used the scallop rectangle die from one of the foundation die sets. And then also used one of the sentiments from the sentiment stacker die sets. So this is just Mom. So I did the outline as well as the words using some more of the foam. And now I have a variety of different flowers. So some of them have pearls on the inside and others have rhinestones. And I just have an assortment of different sizes and lots of different pinks to just go with this very pink card that I am creating. And just to hold those in place, I'm just using some glue dots. I figured with Mother's Day not really that far away, wouldn't hurt to get an early start on a Mother's Day card. So then just to finish off my card, I'm pulling out some more of the bling. So I have some of the petite posies and then also these jelly gems. So I decided just to use the jelly gems, and these are like really tiny rhinestones. I really like them. So first I was just putting like a sprinkling them around the flowers, and then I decided to add one to each of the little scallops on this rectangular die, kind of to frame the mom sentiment just a little bit more. You can always have a little extra bling for your mom's card, right? So that is card number 4. So now moving on to card number 5. The paper is from the Pretty Presents paper collection. And I love that it has kind of warmer colors. It has oranges and yellows and reds in there. So I decided to make an orange card. It's not usually my first choice of colors, but I thought I would do something a little bit different. So I'm using some more of the stickums. This is one of the scrolls. There's a few different sets. And I like this one, it has a few different sizes. So there's some orange foil, and I thought it would look really nice to just do this orange foil on top of the orange pattern paper. So I chose a couple of the different scroll designs. Just going to push those again onto the foil. Make sure to get a nice firm press, especially all the little edges on these. Very delicate little pieces. So once I get those firmly pressed down, I'm just going to go ahead and pull those up. And I just love these beautiful stickers now. So I'm just trying to figure out the placement of where I want to put those, because I'm going to have this larger banner going across the middle of the card, and that's where my sentiment will be. I have one in the upper left-hand corner and the lower right-hand corner, kind of framing my sentiment. And I really love this orange on orange. It looks really nice. But I decided the bottom needed just one more, so I just cut another one of the little pieces. So again, I want to mention, pull off the clear side first and then press it onto the foil. That way you can just pull off that sticker right off of the white backing. So now for my sentiment, I'm going to use another one of the sentiment stackers. So this time I cut out the word dad, but I'm not using the foam this time. I actually want to use some more of this orange foil. So I did cut the words out using the Gloobers, and it was a little harder to get that clear backing off. I think just because it was die cut, it kind of pressed the edges down, so I did have to use my little paper piercing tool to sort of separate the two. But once I got those separated, it worked out just fine. Just gonna rub all of those again in place. And then I have this beautiful orange foil sentiment. First I have my D upside down, there we go. So now I have the word dad. And then I just have to peel off that white backer. So if I'd done it the other way around and I had to pull off that clear backer after I'd already put the foil down, I don't think it would have worked out as well. So you always want to pull off the clear first, and then it's much easier to get that white sheet off later. So I did decide to pop up this sentiment banner. Just use some more of my foam dimensional tape. Make sure I have it straight on my card before I press it in place. And then I'm going to head and put that onto a card base before I add any other embellishments. And then this time I used some of the gray foam, and this doesn't have any glitter on it, it's just the solid gray. And I used some of the foundation dies just in the stars. I cut out 2 different sizes. And then I'm just going to add some of the iridescent bubbles to the inside of the stars, just as a little extra embellishment. Don't want to do too much because it is still a die card. So there is card number 5. So now here's just a quick recap of the 5 cards I made using Queen & Company's Fun Foil and Fun Foam. I will include links to all of the products used in the description box below. If you are interested in purchasing either the foil or the stickums, I have a special bundle price available only for my subscribers if you use the link provided below. The stickum bundle contains 15 styles and is $19.95, over $20 in savings. The foil bundle includes 7 styles for $27.95. That's a savings of $7. Both can be purchased individually, but not at the special price. I also want to mention that the stickums work really well with loose glitter. I just focused on the foil this time, but I'll be sure to use it in a future video. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I always appreciate the support. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.